What's up, everyone? I'm back home from a mini vacation to Los Angeles and a short trip over to Las Vegas, and I want to talk about a brand that I am very enamored with at the moment, having visited their Las Vegas location and then becoming so obsessed with it that I visited their second Las Vegas location in the Wynn Hotel, and then the Hollywood location in the Los Angeles area. And that is Chrome Hearts. Now, Chrome Hearts is a brand that is often described as if you know, you know. And for the longest time, I didn't know. I first got tipped off to the brand flying home either from Las Vegas or Southern California to the Bay Area, and sitting across from me was a man wearing a hat with a curse word on it. And I'm not gonna say that because this is meant for everybody, but it kind of catches your eye if you see a curse word on a hat. And so I Googled it, and I found out the brand that made the hat was Chrome Hearts. And I thought, wow, okay, it's a brand that makes cool hats. But since discovering it, I have paid attention to some very stylish friends who I've realized also wear Chrome Hearts jewelry. And doing more research, that's where it's like, okay, this started as a high-end custom leather and jewelry brand, and it's since garnered a lot of hype to the point that people are buying hats and hoodies without necessarily knowing or appreciating the roots. So I realized when I went to the store in Las Vegas that I had actually been in that store before, and I'm fairly certain I thought, wow, all of this stuff is too expensive for me. So it's cool, but I'm just gonna turn around and go the other direction. Since then, going back, I have a whole new appreciation for this brand and the products that they produce. And I think the reason for that is there's a lot of creativity, but at the end of the day, there is a ridiculous amount of attention to detail, and it shows through in their products and it shows through in their store. So if you know me, you know that to me, details matter. I love the creative side of things, but the execution and the precision and the decision-making process matters. To the point that I made a video about this keychain holder or key holder and how cool it is and why this design is so awesome. One of the reasons being at night, in the dark, I know which key is my house key because it's the first one, and when it's not in use, it's protected so that it doesn't scratch anything else in my pocket. Those are the type of details that matter. And when you go in the store and you browse around, you're looking at products and it's very cool, but then you start to realize some of the details. And the details are really at a level that is unprecedented for a retail store as far as anything that I can think of. In the floor, they have hardwood that transitions to brick, and in the middle of that transition is a black hardwood cross in their logo. On the ceiling, they also have a giant cross just kind of embossed coming out of the ceiling. On all of their cabinets, they have silver pieces for the covers to the locks, for the hinges, their hangers. Their hangers, when I talked to someone at the store, they used to sell them for $2,000, and they're hand-carved wood with silver finishes on the top, and the pattern is different depending on the location, or I guess the time that it was made. And you see these details everywhere in the store. It's all bespoke and it's all awesome. And when you look at their actual pieces, you see that same attention to detail. There's a lot of chaos and creativity in the design, but the execution is precise. And I love that about this store. I think it's an awesome model. Beyond that, they sort of do what they want when they want. They're known for making bespoke pieces for clients, families, friends. And they don't really have a set season or schedule. They make what they want when they want. I love that. Me and my icy hot buddy, someday we want to start a store, make some products, but it's really about making things that we like. And if other people happen to enjoy it, then they can partake. But the store would really be mostly for us. And that's exactly what Chrome Hearts has done, and they've executed it to a T. And it's the type of thing where they've been around forever, but they're just now really realizing success based on the model that they've built, where people are coming around and starting to appreciate it. So a lot of people don't know this brand. I really didn't know this brand, but this past weekend, I kind of immersed myself in this brand. I bought a number of items, and I will unbox those here so you can see, but really their products are kind of all over the place. They're very eclectic. They do the hoodies and hats that everyone knows, but that's just kind of branded clothing. That's not their bread and butter that got them to where they are. They have bespoke leather goods. They have a lot of different jewelry, from pendants to rings. They have glassware. They have salt and pepper shakers, house goods or home goods. It's kind of a store with everything, but everything that they have is done to perfection. All right, so let's get into unboxing my Chrome Hearts haul. And I'll talk about the 3 different stores that I visited at the same time because I picked up items from different stores. So the first one that I went to was the Chrome Hearts store in the Forum Shops in Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And I bought everything that's in this bag here. That shop has been around for, I think they said 18 years. So it's really funny that it's sort of catching on mainstream now for as long as it's been around. And I'm sure, you know, the people that love this brand have loved it for forever. I am not a ring person. I've struggled with various iterations on my wedding ring. I had one that was too big. I buy multiple sizes of the one that I wear now because I'm afraid of it getting stuck. I'm the guy who got the ring sizer stuck on his finger, and I'm very paranoid about stuff like that. So when I saw all of the jewelry on offer, I love the metalwork, but I didn't want to get a ring because I was afraid of it getting stuck. And so I asked the salespeople in the shop, shout out to Michael, shout out to Chanel, what I should go with for my first Chrome Hearts purchase. And I started leaning towards the pendants, specifically the filigree pendant. I'll show a picture here, just because I thought it was very cool looking. And ultimately, I decided on what was in this bag. I got a lot of heat from my wife and from a friend who happened to be in Vegas at the same time with what I bought, but let's get into it. I haven't opened or looked at this stuff since I left the store. The seal was intact, I just broke it, and let's see everything that I got. So, first thing, just kind of in typical fashion with, you know, what's popular at the moment. I got, I don't want to break the packaging, it's so nice. But, let's see, so, I got a couple of Chrome Hearts hats, one for me, one for my wife. I was hoping to get the ones that say Las Vegas just because I was in Las Vegas and you can only get a Las Vegas hat if you're in Las Vegas, but all they had was the Hollywood hats. And in fact, again, shout out to Michael, they didn't have it the day that I showed up, but they did say they were gonna get some in the next day, and I was leaving the next day, but I decided to make the trip back so I could get the hat, and true to his word, the hats were there. These hats are not cheap. They're trucker hats. They run about $250, but they're pretty freaking cool and super nice touch. Attention to detail, as I was saying. There is a silver cross on the top of the hat. They're also very strict about inventory control. They only allow one per person. So my wife actually had to be rung up for her hat separately. But I didn't come to Chrome Hearts to get hats and jackets or hoodies like everybody else. I wanted to get the metalwork. So, in this bag, we also have a smaller pouch with a lot cooler stuff in it. There are two smaller pouches in here, 1 and 2, and they both say Chrome Hearts on them, which is pretty cool. And in the smaller one, there is a chain. And this is a 24-inch chain, and it's called the paper chain. And every link is engraved all around it with CH for Chrome Hearts. I'll try to get some macro shots of the detail because the detail is ridiculous. It's a silver chain, and silver as a precious metal is not all that expensive compared to gold or white gold or platinum. So you're really paying for the metalwork as opposed to the metal. This is a 24-inch chain that ran about $900, I believe, which is very expensive for silver, but for what you get in terms of the quality of the craftsmanship and how cool this is, I think it's worth every penny. The clasp on this is kind of hard for me to figure out. It only fits in a certain way. Ooh, and I got it. So there you go. That's what that looks like. But the star of the show is this pendant. And I started by liking a small filigree pendant, and then I thought about getting the large filigree pendant, and then Chanel found this double cross pendant, which was not on display, but which they did happen to have. And as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I knew this was the one that I had to get, and so I did. And it's kind of a running joke because I recently had my 10-year wedding anniversary. I love the Fast and Furious franchise. I made a poster for our wedding anniversary for Fast and Furious 9. It came out on our anniversary. We rented out a theater. We had 20 of our closest friends go, and I made this poster. And you can see in the poster, I am Dom. And what does Dom have that he passes down to his kid? A giant cross necklace. This is my Fast and Furious Dom generationally passed on cross necklace. So let's do some magic and I'll put this on the chain and then we'll keep talking. All right, and it's on. So this pendant is very large, it's very hefty. I'm a little bit bummed that I got it 2 weeks too late, so I updated the poster and you can see it looks much better with the chain on. It is kind of ridiculous. I can see how for somebody who's never worn a chain like this with a pendant this large, it would be shocking to my wife to see, to my friend to see. I think it looks really, really good. I openly admit that I can't wear it just anywhere. I gave my wife privileges to override where I can wear this for the time being, and she said I cannot wear it anywhere. So I guess I'll just be wearing it around the house until she comes around to liking it. But that is that for the Forum Shop store. I was hoping to see more in the way of products. There wasn't a whole lot available at the Forum store, but they work closely with the Wynn store. And let's see, I believe I should have gotten cards for everyone. And at the Wynn, Shauna, who is actually Michael's wife, had held a hat for me with some cemetery crosses on it. I ultimately decided that wasn't for me. It was a little bit too dark for my taste, but it was awesome of her to do that. The Wynn store had a lot more in the way of high-end jewelry. They had some dice that were made of 22 karat gold that were, I think, $30,000 a dice keychain. One of the things I really liked about their jewelry is, you know, this is a silver piece and it's a double cross and I think it's an awesome design, but they have something for everyone at every price point. So you could get this in various sizes. You could get it with a diamond or multiple diamond stones in it. And you could get this in 22 karat gold with diamonds, and basically the same design. I think ballpark was tens of thousands of dollars. I think $70-ish thousand. A lot more than what I paid for this, but you still get the design when you buy this. And if you're a fan of the brand and you have big time money, then you can continue to buy fancier and fancier pieces. Which also leads me to another thing that I noticed, which is that every employee that works at this store has built up a collection over time of pieces that are unique to them, that speak to them, and they've got, you know, multiple chains on, multiple pendants, multiple rings on their fingers, bracelets. Even the security guards were, you know, showing off what they were wearing underneath their formal attire. And that was at multiple locations, so that wasn't just a one-off. That was actually really funny. I said that story at the Los Angeles location, and they chuckled, and the security guard showed me what he was wearing. So that was pretty funny. Let's see, the Wynn location I don't think was as cool from an architecture perspective. If you're into that sort of thing, I think the Forum Shop is the one to hit up first. If you're looking for inventory I think that they can share across both, or they can figure out which one has what, and it's not that far to actually walk from one to the other. At present, the Wynn location certainly had a lot more in the way of jewelry on offer. And then I went to the Hollywood location. And the Hollywood location is its own beast or entity in that the storefront just isn't there. It really is a if you know, you know type of situation. It's off of Melrose Avenue. I had walked by this store probably dozens of times. I never knew it was there. It looks like a house. It's sort of shrouded in just a wall on one side, bushes on the other, no signage to speak of. In Las Vegas, both stores have these giant chrome hearts signs that are just amazingly detailed. And in Los Angeles, there is nothing. I went to the address and I was like, are we in the right place? And I saw some signage, and I think it's only because of COVID that it said that they were appointment only and to scan a QR code. I actually thought we were gonna have to leave because they didn't have any available appointments. But as we were gonna turn around, the security guard actually walked up and I asked if this was Chrome Hearts, and they said yes, and they were actually kind enough to let us in. And that is where I met Zach. And I don't have any photos of the Los Angeles location to show you on the inside because they specifically said no photography allowed. But at this location, I was able to find a ring that I really, really, really love. And I had actually tried on the Forever ring, which is a very popular style of ring, but it was too thick for my fingers. I ride motorcycles, I do a lot of stuff with my hands, whether it's wrenching on cars or bikes, and I'm very sensitive to having rings and thickness in this area. It impedes my ability to use my hand. And the Forever ring was just too thick for me to really like wearing it, even though I love the design. But that's when I stumbled on this in the Hollywood location. And this is an even smaller bag than the other two bags that I have, but it also says Chrome Hearts on it, and in it, if I can get it out, is a nail ring. And I think that is just really, really awesome. So it's shaped like a nail, it's made out of silver, it has a Chrome Hearts cross on the end of it. The nail point, I mean, is legit. Like it's pointed like a real nail would be. And one of the things that I love about this is I'm actually a size 8.5 or 9. And like I said, I'm very paranoid about getting stuff on my fingers stuck. But this ring being a nail means it's very, very thin and narrow. It's smooth and circular. And the gap at the top actually allows for some leeway when I'm slipping it over my knuckle so that it doesn't get stuck. So this is actually a size 8. They only make full sizes. It's smaller than any ring I would normally get, but it goes on easy, it fits well, it doesn't impede my finger, and it just looks ridiculous. I mean, it looks really, really cool. It's so unique. It's unlike any other ring I've seen, and I just think that's awesome. So I've already got my collection going. I've got my hat, I've got my paper chain, I've got my double cross pendant, I've got my ring, and this was all in not really a weekend. We were kind of there in the middle of the week, but just a handful of days. So I'm pretty sure before long I'm gonna be decked out in this stuff. I love it, I love the brand, I think it's awesome. I think all of the people that I worked with were amazing. I've seen reviews of people saying you know, the customer service is terrible. I didn't experience that at all. I think maybe it has a little bit to do with COVID and making appointments and the necessity for that. So I will say, you know, give them a call beforehand if you're not sure if you can just show up and go in. Don't be disappointed if you try and it doesn't work out. That's kind of what I was expecting in the Hollywood location, and I just got lucky. But I think, you know, if you're able to set up a time and you have someone help you out, they're gonna do right by you. So I think that's it. I think I'm a happy camper. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the brand, let me know. I know I'm late on this bandwagon, but I'm gonna make up for lost time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.